Hurricane Irma has killed at least 10 people and injured 23 in French Caribbean island territories. American Samoa. The dangerous Category 5 storm roared over the region, France's interior minister said Thursday. Speaking on French radio France Info, French Interior Minister Gérard Collomb said the death toll in Saint Martin and Saint Barthélemy could be higher because rescue teams have yet to finish inspecting the islands. The reconnaissance will really start at daybreak, Collomb said. Irma blacked out much of Puerto Rico, raking the U.S. territory with heavy wind and rain while staying just out to sea, and headed early Thursday toward the Dominican Republic and Haiti. To the east, authorities struggled to get aid to small Caribbean islands devastated by the storm's record 185 miles per hour winds earlier Wednesday, while people in Florida rushed to get ready for a possible direct hit on the Miami area. Communication was difficult with areas hit by Irma, and information on damage trickled out. Nearly every building on Barbuda was damaged when the hurricane's core crossed almost directly over the island early Wednesday, and about 60% of its roughly 1,400 residents were left homeless, Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown told the Associated Press. It is just really a horrendous situation, Brown said after returning to Antigua from a plane trip to the neighboring island. He said that roads and telecommunications systems were wrecked and recovery would take months, if not years. A 2-year-old was killed as a family tried to escape a damaged home during the storm, Brown said. On St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, Laura Strickling spent 12 hours hunkered down with her husband and 1-year-old daughter in a boarded-up basement apartment with no power as the storm raged outside. They emerged to find the lush island in tatters. Many of their neighbors' homes were damaged and once dense vegetation was largely gone. There are no leaves. It is crazy. One of the things we loved about St. Thomas is that it was so green. And it's gone, Strickling said. It will take years for this community to get back on its feet. Significant damage was also reported on St. Martin, an island split between French and Dutch control. Photos and videos circulating on social media showed major damage to the airport in Philipsburg, and the coastal village of Mairie got heavily flooded. France sent emergency food and water there and to the French island of St. Barts, where Irma ripped off roofs and knocked out electricity. By early Thursday, the center of the storm was about 140 miles northwest of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and moving west-northwest at nearly 16 miles per hour. More than half the island of Puerto Rico was without power, leaving 900,000 in the dark and nearly 50,000 without water, the U.S. territory's Emergency Management Agency said in the midst of the storm. 14 hospitals were using generators after losing power, and trees and light poles were strewn across roads. Puerto Rico's public power company warned before the storm hit that some areas could be left without power for 4 to 6 months because its staff has been reduced and its infrastructure weakened by the island's decade-long economic slump. State maintenance worker Juan Tesada said he was without power for 3 months after Hurricane Hugo in 1989. "I expect the same from this storm. It's going to be bad," he said. President Trump approved an emergency declaration for the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, allowing the Federal Emergency Management Agency and other agencies to remove debris and provide other services that will largely be paid for by the U.S. government. Pauline Jackson, 59, a registered nurse from Florida visiting Puerto Rico, said she had tried to leave before the storm but that all flights were sold out. She has a reservation to fly out Friday and is worried about her home in Tampa. "When you're from Florida, you understand a Category 5 hurricane," she said. The U.S. National Hurricane Center predicted that Irma would remain a Category 4 or 5 storm for the next day or two as it passes just to the north of the Dominican Republic and Haiti on Thursday, nears the Turks and Caicos and parts of the Bahamas by Thursday night and skirts Cuba on Friday night into Saturday. It will then likely head north toward Florida. The storm is expected to hit Florida sometime Sunday, and Governor Rick Scott said he planned to activate 7,000 National Guard soldiers by Friday. He warned that Irma is bigger, faster and stronger than Hurricane Andrew, which wiped out entire neighborhoods in South Florida 25 years ago. Experts worried that Irma could rake Florida's entire east coast from Miami to Jacksonville and then head into Savannah, Georgia and the Carolinas, striking highly populated and developed areas. This could easily be the most costly storm in U.S. history, which is saying a lot considering what just happened 2 weeks ago, said Brian McNulty, a hurricane researcher at the University of Miami.